I really didn't expect to be doing another one of these, but, well, this should be fairly quick, and means I don't have to edit that much, so yeah, sure, why not. Hello, welcome back. I'm Yink. Didn't really expect to be doing another painting video, but, well, I have a small project I'm doing for a friend, and yeah, it seems like it'll be pretty quick, so... Basically, I'm going to be taking this translucent green Mega Bloks Xenomorph and painting it to match the old Kenner Mantis alien, which basically just means some silver paint and gold for the teeth. Not that I have gold, but I think I have an idea for that. Anyway, the first thing I need to do is get rid of this nasty nub mark on the side of the head. Thankfully that should be pretty easy, just cut it. And I will actually carve a couple lines into it, just so it's a little bit more in line with the rest of the molding. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be hidden by the paint anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think there's any more bad nubs. There's one on the side of the chest, but you can't really see it, so that's fine. Yeah, and the rest of them are all hidden. Even the one here on the tail isn't really noticeable. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to painting. Alright, I shook up the paint already, so you don't have to deal with the sound of that. Just gonna pour out a decent amount of silver, because, well, steel. It'll focus, yeah. But odds are I probably won't need any more, so that's fine. And I do have an image of the original figure pulled up, so shouldn't be too hard to deal with this. I am going to partially disassemble this, just so that's a bit easier on me to reach some of these areas. Alright, well, the first thing I need to do is actually thin this paint a little bit, because the original was just basically airbrushed with a bit of silver. Now, the thing is, I don't have an airbrush, but even if I did, these parts are so small, trying to get that airbrush effect on them is not going to be the easiest thing in the world, and it's actually probably just easier to hand paint them and do that. But the top of the head is pretty much entirely silver, and the bottom doesn't really have any, or at least not very much. So doing it this way means that it will have that semi-transparency to it that airbrushing creates. And I'm just going to do this side first, and then I will let it dry for a little bit, and then I'll flip it over into the other side. And then maybe one light coat just to add that little bit of extra silver to it, and a tiny bit of dry brushing on the bottom. But let's just leave that there for now. And move on to the tail, which the Mantis doesn't really have a tail, it's more of a stump. Well, I mean, it's supposed to look like an insect, but it's pretty much just a bit of silver along the top, so that's what I'm going to do. Along the very ridge of it, and way down the sides a little bit, yeah, like that. Can actually do both sides of this one, since even if it does touch the table, it won't actually. So I will put a little bit more up at the tip here, just because it will look better. Mostly, hopefully my voice sounds alright, because I'm a little bit stuffed up today. I think it's just pollen and kind of wet weather lately. Alright, let's do the torso next, which is not actually that bad. Again, mostly sort of blobbed onto the main body, and a little bit down here in the midsection, which that looks about right. And sort of here-ish. I don't want to get like blobs of it stuck in the rib cage, because then it'll look weird. I mean, I'm gonna get a couple anyway, but I don't want to overdo it. Kind of lighter, and there's a bit of green on the sides, so that's gonna be left mostly off. Yeah, the upper chest is pretty much completely silver, so that's going to need a second coat. That said, I do actually really want to do a light brushing on this. It's not entirely accurate. They didn't really do it on the original, but I think it'll look a lot nicer. And they did actually do it on the NECA figure that was based on the original. So it's kind of a mix between those two. As for the arms, it's pretty much just up the side. That said, there's not a lot of molded detail on them anyway, so it's not going to look amazing, but yeah, whatever. Alright, onto the legs. Most of the silver has to go on the front. Yeah, like I was thinking, the lack of molded detail on these arms makes the effect not look as good. Because, I mean, you look on the chest and it looks amazing, and then you look at the arm and it looks super plain. That's just kind of the problem with this, is the sculpting on the new parts look amazing, and then the parts that they reuse don't really look that great. Though, you know, that comes into toy budgeting, and it's a whole thing. And the teeth on these are, well, on the original is a bit more of an orange, sort of bronze-ish almost. And so I'm going to use a bit of this old translucent orange that I had for years to just kind of do the teeth. Alright, and here it is finished. I'll take some pictures with better lighting so that you can actually see the detailing a bit better, but yeah, that wasn't that bad. It only took about a half hour. I'm sure my friend will appreciate it. And anyway, that's all until next time. As always, happy building.